So today I'm going to film a video about ordering decimals, numbers with decimals. Um, and this video is going to be about least to greatest. Now, when I say ordering decimals, I don't mean you're going to order them from somewhere. I mean putting them in an order. There's two ways you can go about this. You can go either from greatest to least, which means your biggest number all the way down to your smallest number. Or you can do least to greatest. Start with your smallest number and work your way up to the biggest number. Now, in this case, like I said before, I'm going to do least to greatest, okay? Let's go ahead and start and look at the numbers that we're working with today. So on this top row, we have 28.034, 27.034, and 28.0341, okay? Now, whenever we're putting any number or any number with decimals in order, we always have to start with the biggest place value that we have. In this case, we only have numbers as big as the 10 spot. We have a 2, a 2, and a 2. So all the numbers in the 10 spot are the same. So once we start with the biggest one, if they're all the same, we don't know which one's bigger yet. So we go to the next biggest one. We look at the 1 spot. Here we have an 8, a 7, and an 8. So we already know the next biggest spot, which is the 1 spot, right? Here we have a 7. That's smaller than an 8. So this one would be the smallest number. So I'm going to write 27.034. Okay? So that takes this one out of the list. We have two more numbers that we're working on. We already checked the 10 spot and the 1 spot. Let's look at our next biggest spot, which is the 10th spot. We have a 0 and a 0. Okay, same number. We have a 3 in the 100th spot and also a 3 here in the 100th spot. Okay, let's go to our next biggest spot, the 1000th place. We have a 4 here and a 4 here. We still don't know which one's smaller. Now, when we go to the 10,000th spot, we have a 1 here and nothing here. Well, guess what? This 1 that's in the 10,000 spot makes it a little bit bigger than this number that doesn't even have a number in the 10,000th spot. So our next smallest one is this number, 28.034. And if this one is our second smallest one, then that means this one's our biggest one, 28.0341. Okay? So again, this is from least to greatest. The smallest number, and then I'm working my way up to the biggest number. Okay? Now let's go ahead and take a look at these numbers in the bottom. Okay? Again, we're going to do the same routine. We're going to check first with the number in the biggest placeholder or place value, which in this case, again, is the 10th spot, is a 10th spot. We have a 2, a 2, and a 2. Those are the same numbers, so we don't know which one's the smallest one yet, do we? Let's go to our 1s spot. We see an 8, a 7, and a 7. Well, we know this one right here is not the smallest one. Okay? It's likely the biggest one because in the 1s spot, there's an 8. These two numbers here have a 7 in their 1 spot, so they're both smaller than this one. Now, out of these two numbers, let's see which one is smaller. So let's go to the 10th spot. Here we have a 3, and here we have a 1. Now, 1 is a smaller number than a 3, right? Okay, so that means that this one right here is our smallest number because in the 10th spot, it has a 1. And this one right here in the 10th spot, it has a 3. And they both have 27 in the front, so that doesn't even matter. Let's go ahead and write this one first. It's our smallest number. Okay, we've already done this one. And we've said that when we compare these two numbers, we already knew that this one here is smaller because in the 1 spot, there's a 7. And this one right here has an 8. And the 7 is smaller than the 8. So here's our next smallest one. Okay? So if that's our second smallest number, then our biggest number must be the one that's left. This guy right here. And that's how you properly put numbers in the correct order from least to greatest. Now, if we were doing greatest to least, we would start with the biggest number, then the next biggest, and then the smallest. But in this case, we're doing least to greatest. So we're starting with our smallest, and we're working up to our biggest. Thank you for watching.